Hi everyone. In this video, I wanted to go over some things that I think confuse a lot of people when they're using Coreldraw and Corel Photo Paint. What I've used the program since it was since I started producing it. So I don't know what I have 30 something years using this program, but it's kind of crazy. It's gotten a little bit weird to me. I used to think it was a lot easier to use, and now it's kind of more on the lines of Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. I have to use all the programs just for different things that I do, but I still do like to use CorelDraw and Corel Photo Paint on some of my projects. On this video, what we have here is we just have a license plate picture that's copied from the internet. And let's say that we wanted to draw this peach. This is a Georgia peach right here in the, looks like the state of Florida shape there in the green. So first of all, one hint I want to show everybody that you can just copy any picture from the internet and then paste it into CorelDraw. But one thing that a lot of people don't understand, if you do want to crop this image and you go over here to your crop tool and you say you want to just crop this center part right here and you hit enter, or you can hit enter or hit crop right up here in the top left. Now when you do that, everything disappears except for what you've cropped there. So a lot of times that's really not what you're looking to do. So if I hit Control Z, let me go back here, hit Control Z, okay. But if you want to crop something and you don't want everything to be deleted and you just want your picture to be cropped, go ahead and select the picture first there. See how this is selected? Then if I go hit my crop tool, then if I go and do the crop, I can either hit enter or that check mark up there on the left. Now when I do it, it didn't delete any of my other stuff on here, and it did crop my picture. So that's what I was looking to do, and I know it's kind of hard to figure that out, but next what I want to go through and show you is what is the difference. So this up here is a vector image or a vector drawing, and this right here is a bitmap. So I can actually, and you can tell it's a bitmap too because it's going to get blurry as you start to, resize it. Okay. So say I wanted to, say in my project, I needed to draw this peach. And it's pretty simple. Now I could actually go and I can use the color picker and it'll actually change my color to that. Like if I were to draw a shape, I'm just going to draw a square up here. And so if I go here and I grab that color and then I fill in there, it's actually going to grab that color from that bitmap, which is pretty cool. But let's talk about shapes and what shapes do to begin with here. So we drew this square here, and let me move this out of the way here just so I can go through this a little bit. So we have this square that we've just drawn. Now right now, if I go to edit this square, if I go over here and I pick my shape tool and I start moving this stuff around, see how I'm not able to, I mean, I'm changing my corners here, but I can do the same thing right up here. I'm sure everybody knows that. It's kind of nice to give yourself rounded corners, but if I really want to change the shape of this square, I'm going to have to convert it to a curve. And I can just right click and convert that to curve. Okay, now I got nodes that I can edit. Now if I move this node right here, it's going to actually change the shape of the square with the round corners. Now something that's kind of weird, if I go back, and I know I didn't understand this for a long time, how this tool worked. But you do have an elastic tool. When you have this selected and you have your shape you got your shape tool going, you have this tool up here called elastic mode. And I never really figured how it really worked, because if you take this and you take your shape mode and you select all the nodes and you move this, it's going to actually just move your shape. If you were just to take your selection tool, then you can size it this way. But if we go back to our shape tool, select everything on the shape tool, and if we, now like I said, if we can just click on any of these nodes that are selected and move it around. But if we click on this elastic tool up here, okay, so when we're using the shape tool, and if we have, we can click on elastic mode right here, okay? If we don't have elastic mode clicked on and we select all the nodes, it's going to move we're going to be able to move the shape. If we click on elastic mode, then we can actually change the perspective of a shape. Okay, now if I wanted to say change the size, I wanted to make this longer, I would just take elastic mode off. I still have my shape selected. I would click anywhere just to unselect them. Then I would go ahead and select the bottom nodes there. And then if I hold shift, it's going to allow me to just go straight down. I can go to different angles and different degrees there, but if I just do that, then it's going to hold it perpendicular when I'm sizing that. Okay, so that shows you what the elastic tool does. What we want to do now is, if we come over here, let's get rid of that shape right there. Let's go back here and say we wanted to draw this peach here in this leaf. We're in Coreldraw right now. I normally use Coreldraw 2021 because 2023 doesn't work with a lot of my cutters and stuff since they've came out with it. And it does that too. I normally use a program that's a year or two old just because it works with everything and it doesn't waste my time. You know, if there's some real good feature they've come out with, like I said, this is 2023 and I don't use it. I use 2021 because it works with all the graph tip cutters. It intermingles and everything works. You don't have to screw around changing different things. So if I were in Coreldraw, what I would do if I wanted to draw this peach, I would click on my bitmap. I would right click and I would go lock. That's just because I don't want this bitmap moving around as I'm trying to draw this. So to draw this, what I would do, now the pen tool and the Bezier tool right here, they're pretty much the same tool. I've never really been able to figure out much difference between the two of them. So either way, if I click the Bezier tool and I go here and I start drawing, I would just start drawing on this part right here. Let's just start right here. Okay, so I'm going to click right there. Then I'm going to click right here and hold my left mouse button. Okay, now that's giving me a curve line. If I want a straight line, I just go ahead and click and then I'll get a straight line. But if I want a curve line, I go to where I'm going to click and then I hold my left mouse button and then I adjust my curvature. Okay, now something, and they don't tell you this stuff a lot, but what I want to do here is, let's tell you what, let me move this. We'll get to some just white screen here. So I got the Bezier tool selected. Like I said, the pen tool is going to work the same way. If I click right here and I click right here, I'm going to get a straight line. Where I want my line to be, if I click and hold my left mouse button, I'm going to get a curved line. Now, if I want to click again and get another curved line, it kind of screws me up because right now this tail of this line came out farther here. And what I'll show you the difference here. I'll kind of let me kind of remake this. And if you want to stop your line, just push the space key. So if I go back here, grab my Bezier tool again, I'm just going to kind of create the same line again and show you what the difference was here. Now if I hit cusp, I'm going to cusp that node. Now see the two ears coming out of here? Now that, if I cusp it, if I hit C for cusp, or I could go up on the top and do it too, but if I hit C, then it lets me go back, and if I let go right on top of that node, now I could go ahead and make another line here, but see how my curve started right from the node? So if you don't cusp, like say I want to go here, and then I want to go all the way back here. See how I got that weird tail from that node? If I don't want that weird tail, I go ahead and I click here, I click here, and then when I let go of it, before I let go, I hit the C to cusp right there. See me moving that tail around there? I don't know what's doing there. Let me do that again. So got the Bezier tool selected. I click here, and I get my curve. Then I hold the C in. Then I can go back and let go on top of there. Now when I go and I do another one, see how it's right from that node, it's doing what I want it to do, but it's a hard edge. It's cusp. It's not moving both of them. Like if I do this one, let's see here. Let me do that again. If I go here, I push the space bar to end the drawing, go back to the Bezier tool, and if I do this, and then I do this, and then I hold my left in again, I get weird lines because it's still connected and it's not cusped. But if I cusp that, I can go back and still holding my left mouse button in, let go of that. Now I can do, now it's a straight line coming through there, or you can do a curved line from there, but that's what the cusp tool actually does. Now, let's just go ahead, let's delete all this stuff up here. Let's go back here to this peach drawing. I got the Bezier tool selected. I'm going to click, let's say I'm just going to click right here, okay? That's going to be my left mouse click right there. It's going to be for first line. My second line, I'm going to click my left mouse button, and I'm going to hold my left mouse button because I got to make a curve there. Now I'm moving in and out with this to make my curvature of that peach. Now, if I go there and I were to let go here, and then I go here and I start to do that again. Now see, I'm never going to get that back because I never cusp that node. See how I'm getting that weird right here? So I got that weird line there. So let's go back again. Let's start that again. Let's go right here. I'm going to left mouse click. I'm going to left mouse click and hold. And then the secret is I'm going to push C. I'm going to go back over the top of that before I let go. Then I'm going to go hold I'm going to click right here. I'm holding my, and I'm moving this around. I'm going in and out with it to get my right curvature of that peach. And if I say, okay, that's the curvature I want right there, then I'm going to click C, still holding my left mouse button, then I'm going to let go right over the top of that node. Then I'm going to go up here, and now I'm going to screw up on purpose here. I'm going to go click way up here. Okay, now I'm going to try to draw, actually, it's not too bad, but right in this area right here, I'm not getting the exact curvature that I want. So now, still holding the left mouse button in, I can hold the Alt. That's it, actually move that node. See the blue node is moving? So that's going to let me move my node back to a new place. Now I'm able to, when I let go of the Alt button, now it's going to let me, now I can, still holding my left mouse button in, I can manipulate how that curve is there. If I hold my Alt in, I can move that node. See me moving that node there? Okay, so let's put it right here. Now you don't really have to get this stuff perfect. Now I'm going to hit C because I want to go over here and cusp this one right here. And let me do an example of not cusping it again, okay? I'm going to go right here. I'm holding my left mouse button in. Now, I can get my curvature right, but watch this. I'm not going to cusp it, okay? So now I didn't cusp that, but now I'm going to try to come up here and draw this line. And see how I can't bend it right there, right about where that arrow is? It doesn't bend there because that tail was all the way out there. And you can see it better right there if you do that. See that right there? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit, I let go of everything. I'm going to hit Control Z. Okay. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to click on here. Then I'm going to go, I just clicked one time on there. Now I'm going to click and hold my left mouse button. That's how you restart a line there. Okay. So there we go. I'm going to hit C for cusp. Now I'm going to click, I'm just going to click right in here, holding my left mouse button. Now, let me show you what happened here. And I don't like Coreldraw the way it does this, but there's not really much you can do about it. I'm going to click here again. I'm going to click right on top of this node. Then I'm going to click here on top of this node. You can't click too close to the nodes. And I'm going to hold that in. Okay. Now, I don't like that. That's not right. Let's go back here. Let's Control Z a couple times here. I'm going to click on here. I'm going to click right here and hold this. Now, what you can do too is you can go back here, and I do this a lot. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to click this right here. Well, let's tell you what. Let's go ahead and finish the drawing, and then I'll come back and show you how to do that. So if I click here, so I'm restarting it, but see how it has this tail coming out there? If I go and I click on my shape tool, well, let's go back and click on the Bezier tool. Let's click right here. Let's click right here. And that looks pretty good, actually. Okay, so I'm going to hit C for cusp. Then I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to click right here. And I'm making that end on there. I'm going to hit C for cusp. Then I'm going to go around here, hold my left mouse button in, get my circle going there, or get my curvature. C for cusp. Same thing, hold my left mouse button down. C for cusp. And let me just do this real fast to get around here because I want to show you how. Now I'm going to hold my Alt in. I'm going to move this node back quite a bit there. C for cusp. Right here. Moving in and out to get my curvature pretty close to the drawing behind there, or the picture behind there. C for cusp. I'm going to go right here. C for cusp. Let go on top of it. Hold my left mouse button in. Drag out. Always drag out for the curved. C for cusp. I'm just going to go all the way up here. Holding my left mouse button in. C for cusp. Let go on top of that one. Click right there. Moving it out. C for cusp. Right there. C for cusp. Click in here. It's kind of covered up by that number. C for cusp. Now I'm going to just go all the way to here and end it. And you just hold in to move your curvature on your very last one. Okay? So that one isn't great right there. But if we go back to our selection tool here, you can see where I kind of screwed this up right here. So if I go and click on this node right here, when I do that, I'm going to be able to see now when I let go of it, I'm old and my fingers don't move right. I'm going to move this right here to get that curvature going better there. Let's see here. Can move that there. Now you could actually just, if you wanted to, you could hit this, right click, and go symmetrical. Sometimes that'll help you clean it up a little bit. But you'll just have to play around with how this stuff works. Now, if I wanted to, say I can actually show you guys better how this works. Let's go down here. Let's click on this node right here. Okay. Now up here in the top, if you look here, see where it says cusp node? that node is already cusped, so it's grayed out. Now if I go back here to this one, now this one, see, I didn't get that one cusped. That's why I'm getting this tail on here. Let's click on this node right here, and that one I didn't get cusped either because that was my last node. So let's go ahead and do that. We got this node selected. I'm going to go up here. Oh, this one actually did get cusped. Okay, so this one is cusped. And the reason we know it's cusped is because we only have one arrow coming out of it. See how this side over here isn't, we're not affecting it by moving this arrow over on this side? Now, when you drag out on these arrows, you can make the lines longer or shorter or change the curvature. So if I go right here, now if I go back here, this is the one that I didn't get cusped. So if I click on that node right there, now this one is not cusped. So if I move this arrow over here, this line is going to be affected on the other side. And this is pretty neat to know because a lot of times you move this line over here and you don't want this line to work. Now you'll always be better symmetrical if you let both lines move, because like right here, see I'm moving this line but this one's staying because it's cusped. You will see a little flaw in your line, but you'll see it if you zoom in like this, but you really won't see it in anything else. You won't see it in your cuttings on your plotting this to vinyl or anything. You won't see that either. Let me put that cusp back to where it went there. And what I was saying is we could go back up here and we could cusp this now by clicking right here, cusp node. And as I did that, now when I move this arrow, I won't affect anything on the other side of that cusp. See that? So now I can kind of move this one. I can, if I don't think I have this one on the right, I can click on it. I can move it there. And see, I can get my, I can click here and move on this one too. I can click here and move on this to get it a little better. Now I got a pretty good circular shape going there. Okay, so that is the pen tool, Bezier tool. All these tools right here are pretty much the same tool. So when you're editing one of these tools though, you have to click on to the Bezier tool, like right here on the left, or actually click on to your shape tool first to get everything selected. Then so click on the Bezier, and then you can just click here and click on your shape tool. And the nice thing about Coreldraw is you just click on the shape tool and you can edit any of these nodes. Okay, but I'll show you how differently, and I'm going to just push Control Z to do that right there. Now this is in Coreldraw. Okay, so now I could sit here and I could select that shape, curve, whatever you want to call it, because if I right click on this, I cannot convert to curve because it's already a curve. Okay, see where it says curve, and it's connected, it's joined. So now I can just put the orange in if I want. Okay, I can put the orange in by just clicking on the orange color. Then I can go up here and right click on this top box, and I can take the outline. See how it's got the black outline on there? I can right click, or if I want a light blue outline, I can right click on there and it gives me a blue outline. So I want no outline. So, well, let's leave the outline on there for a second. But say I didn't want a fill color, which I have the orange fill color right now. If I go and I left click right here, this is no color. Okay, this very top box is no color. So if I left click there, now I have no fill. See how you can see through there and everything? Okay, so what I really want to end up with is I want to left click on there. I want to have this fill. Now I don't want any outline, so I'm just going to right click on the no color. Now I have no outline here. Okay, so now I kind of would be done with the bitmap behind there. I was just using the bitmap to copy my shape. So I literally can go and now one thing too, that if you like moving stuff by using your arrow keys, right now if I click anywhere in the white on this screen here, this is my move selection tool right here. So right now it's set at 10 pixels. And let's show you guys how to let's see something here. Okay. All right. So this is set up as pixels. And this is because I don't really use 2023, or it would be set up on, I usually use inches, okay? So I'm going to right click in that pixel box up here. Let me right click on the, let's see something here. Okay, now if you'll notice, the Coreldraw that I'm using right now is froze up. Nothing works right now. There it comes back. So for some reason there was a glitch there and it just froze up. That's when I want to tell you an important piece of advice here. When you do some major work or anything that took you any amount of time at all, do your save. I've lost so many hours of work by not doing saves. It's absolutely incredible. And all computer programs kind of do this, but lately Coreldraw has been absolutely crashing a lot. So when you do something and you don't want to have to redo it again, go ahead and make your save. Will make your life so much easier. Okay, so and something I wanted to point out, of course, do your saves anytime you spend some effort on anything. Make sure and save it. Then another thing, when we go to Corel Photo Paint, it's a good idea to create objects when you bring stuff in, and I'll show you what I mean by that. But if you look over here in our objects Docker over here, and if you don't have the objects over here showing, see, like right now that peach we just drew is right here. If I click on the orange curve, this is going to actually be the peach right there, and then it's selected, so I could just move it right now. Okay, if I hit Control Z, it's going to move it back. Now if I wanted to lock that, I could just left click on that little lock button right there. Now I see where the lock's on there. Now I wouldn't be able to lock that. And also, if you remember, we locked the bitmap when we were drawing that to begin with. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock that, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to go ahead and move it over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to left click. Now we're going to go into Photo Paint to do the same thing that we just did. Now it depends kind of what kind of work you're doing. This now is what we call a vector, and vectors are way cleaner than bitmaps. But this part right here, this license plate part, is a bitmap. So if we wanted to, you can click on a vector and then you can convert that to a bitmap. So to convert the vector to a bitmap, you just click on the vector, then you go up here to bitmap and convert to bitmap. Oh, no, sorry, I forgot what I was showing you about these objects over here. If your object Docker is not showing, all you do is you go up to, let's see, Windows, Dockers, and then these are the ones that I have showing right here. So generally you have text showing, transform, line and distribute's a good one. And here's our objects right here. So if we were to unclick that, on the right, objects went away over here now. So we're just going to go to Window, Dockers, and we're going to click on objects now. Now, when the computer Coreldraw froze up a second ago, I was going to show you. Let's go ahead and move this back over on top of this, up top of where we drew it, so we can get that pretty close there. But a really good way when you really start trying to keep your stuff aligned and stuff. Now I'm going to right click in here because right now it's set up on pixels. If I right click, actually I'm going to right click on the ruler here. See where it says grid setup, ruler setup, guide setup. I'm going to go to ruler setup. And now this is where I'm going to change that box up on the top there to inches. And it's just because I'd rather work in inches. So I go here now, Now, what I was saying is, see how it says 10 pixels up here? That's okay. Let's see. Let me make sure I change that. I'm going to right click on the ruler up here on the top. Oh, it's froze up again. You gotta love it. Oh, let's give it a second here to unfreeze. Okay, so now it's unfroze. And another little hint too, if it freezes up and you're not able to, the program's not responding, I like to let it wait 15 or 20 minutes, or at least 5 minutes, to let it see if it will respond, so you don't lose. Because once you click out of the program and shut it down, you've lost whatever changes you've made there. And you can set automatic backup on that, but I don't think it works that well. And I get lazy about doing saves, because sometimes when I am working on a big project, it can take a minute to save sometimes, or even longer. But what I wanted to show you guys, now this is set to inches up here now. It was set to pixels. Now what you want to do is you just click anywhere in the white area. You don't want to click on any object. And I can go ahead and I can change this to 0.001. And now, see, I got 0.001 up there. Now if I click on this orange part here and I make a move, it's going to move in tiny increments. And if I hold Control and hit my left arrow, it's moving in either smaller increments. Okay? And you can see that up here on the top left, your X and Y axis on there. So what I want to do then is I want to show you what I really usually do is I usually go up here and I usually change this to like 0.01. Okay? Now when I click on this and I click on the right arrow, it's going to move farther. Okay? But say if I want to get this off of this, I'm going to click in the white and I can move this, let's say we're going to move this 0.25, which is 1/4 of an inch. I'm typing in 0.25, then I'm going to hit my enter. Now when I go click on this orange peach, now I right arrow over, it moves it 1/4 inch at a time. Okay, so I'm going to move it back. I've clicked 2 to the right, I'm going to click back 2 to the left. So I'm going to click in the white. Let's say we put that, let's say we put it at 5, which is going to move that 5 inches now. So I'm zooming out a little bit. I'm clicking on that, and I'm 1 arrow over. So now it moved it over 5 inches that direction. So now what I'm getting at though is if I wanted to make a change over here or did something else, that peach would be out of my way to work. And then if I were to go back, and if I did change those increments to do some other work, then I would go back and I would click in the white and make sure and change this back to 5. Then if I clicked back on that peach, hit the arrow 1 time to the left, it's going to line it up for me automatically. And like I said, in Coreldraw, when you create something, it's automatically going to create an object for you. Look over here on the right, it automatically shows where we brought the bitmap in to begin with. And there's our curve right there, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on the bitmap. So now we're going to go into Photo Paint. Okay, now that bitmap is locked, so I'm going to have to unlock that bitmap. I'm not selecting the peach vector that I drew. I'm just selecting the part of the license plate. I'm going to right click on that and then I'm going to go edit bitmap. Now what that's going to do is that's going to take us into Photo Paint. Okay, and this happens to be 2023 because I think it generally picks whatever version of Coreldraw you're using. So here we are. We're right back in. We got the same bitmap, but I just want to show you the differences between how you would create that or color this orange in versus doing it Coreldraw versus Corel Paint. Now the beauty of Corel Photo or Coreldraw and Photo or Corel Photo Paint is that you can just go that fast from vector creation to bitmap work. And that's kind of nice to do. And you could just go back and forth. So what I'll show you here on this one, let's do the Georgia shape. Okay. So what I'm going to do here now, this is a totally different program as far as how that stuff works. What we're going to do on this one, and it's kind of weird, is we're going to create a path. Okay. And then we're going to, believe it or not, we're going to take the path and we're going to convert it to a mask. Now, if I wanted to, I could go up here and I could grab these. A lot of times I like to draw my mask versus using these automatic creating ones. But you could do a brush right here, okay? So we could grab this brush here and whatever, you know, you can. Now, if you hold your shift in and left mouse click, you can change that. Well, looks like you can't do it on here. Let's see something here. Let's go back. Let's undo that. Let's go up here to mask. Let's go remove that mask. Let's start all over then. Let's see if we can, I'm not sure. Like I said, I go back and forth to all these. If we got our brush mask, if I hold my shift down and hit my left mouse button, okay, it doesn't do that. Okay. So I control Z there. So on this mask, that's in Coreldraw, in most of these programs, if you hold your shift down and then hold your left mouse down, you can change the size of that nib. So it looks like this one, we're just going to have to go up here and click on it here. This is your feather here. This is about your edge. If you want just a hard brush, you would change that down to 0. And what I mean by that, if we go here and we take a brush, and I don't know what color, I guess we got orange selected here, and we do this, versus if we have, okay, so it automatically set that feather for that particular brush. If we do that again, it's kind of hard to tell, but it just feathers in the edge there. I'm going to hit Control Z to take that out of there. So like I said, if we go up here and I'm going to grab that brush tool and I'm going to do a mask on this. Okay, so I've changed the size of that brush now, and as I do this, if I want, now I've created a mask with the brush tool. If I go up here and I hit those green positives, now if I want to add to this mask, I can add to that mask. Now if I want to subtract to the mask, I can also go to the outside of it and push in and subtract part of that mask. Now I'm going to go ahead and I just wanted to show you this tool just so we can do some comparing here. I'm going to remove this mask. If we go up here to the magic wand tool and we click on this, this is going to automatically make a mask by how our tolerances are set up here. So right now we got that set to 7, and if I want to keep adding to that, I could click on that green plus, and then I could click again, and it's gonna keep adding to there. Okay. Now what I want to do now is I'm just gonna go ahead and click out of there. And I'm going to undo that. Let's just remove this mask. Okay, remove mask. All right, let's try that tool again. All right, so we have the magic wand tool, and I got it set up in the plus. So we should, let's see something here. Yeah, okay. So what you got to remember on this magic wand tool, it's kind of weird because where I'm actually selecting is, well, I guess it is right below right behind that circle deal. But see how I keep selecting there, and I can change the tolerances on this. Like let's say we got it on 7 right now. I'm going to go to mask. I'm going to remove the mask, and I'm going to move this tolerances up here by clicking there. I'm on 18 now, and let me click on it in the middle now, and that's pretty good. It got better, but see how we got like this gray here. And it just, to me, it's too far out on that feather. See where we got the gray inside of there. So, but we could go grab our green. Well, we could go here and we could select our brush. Now, you can paint on a mask or you can invert it if you don't want to paint on the mask. So I'm going to grab forest green, and where I'm painting now if I hold my shift in and push on the left mouse button, I can make that brush different size there. See how it's going in and out there? So we can use that mask to paint that shape of Georgia. Now let's undo that. And if we go ahead, now we're painting in the mask, but if we invert that mask, we're going to paint on the outside. So we won't paint anything inside, we'll paint everything on the outside of that mask. So if we wanted to go back and invert the mask, or hit invert again, and now we went over here and we clicked on white, now I could paint inside of that shape of Georgia. But the whole thing of kind of showing you guys this video, I'm going to remove that mask, is I want to draw this better. I don't sometimes like the way that the masks work in these programs. So over here on the right side, you see I have a paths docker. Okay, so we're going to click on that. Right now we don't have any paths in there because it's empty. Let's see how we get that paths to show up down here. So we go to Dockers, and right here where the check mark is paths. Now one thing I want to tell you guys too. Now if we go to objects, now if objects wasn't over here, I would go Windows, Docker, and I would click on objects right there. But my objects is already over here, so I can click on it. Now this is that bitmap that it brought in to begin with. So if I go to that bitmap and I click on it, and I click on that eyeball, I can make it go away there, or I can click it again, or I can click on the lock button, and now I won't mess that up, or I can't move it. If I went here and I clicked on it again, I went up here to the select tool, I could actually move that right there. Now something is kind of weird, I've always thought is weird, that if we do this here, let's go and let's make this page a lot bigger, because I want to copy that. So if we go to paper size, and this is tiny right now because we brought that in from Coreldraw. I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to put this lock on so it changes both of these at one time, and I'm just going to make this 5 inches. Okay, now you see how I have all this blank background. I just want to show you guys how, if I have this bitmap selected here, and I go over here and I right click on it again, and I go duplicate, now I'm going to have 2 of these bitmaps over here. And something that is kind of, sometimes you get kind of confused and stuff when you're trying to edit this bitmap. Say I'm over here and I want to paint on, right now I have this bitmap selected on the bottom here, and over here on the right you can see I'm selected on that bitmap with the blue. Now if I go over here and I want to paint on this bitmap, I can paint on there. But if I go to this top one, I can't paint on there because it's not selected, or I can't make any changes to it because it's not selected. But let's undo that white we put on there, Control Z. Now if I go over here on the right and I select that top bitmap, now I can do what I want to that one because it's actually selected. That was just something I wanted to show you there. So always when you're doing something in Corel Photo Paint, always make a new object. And the way you can do that also, we duplicated it over here, so we have 2 objects over here. But we can go up here to object, and we can go create new object, and it'll create a new object. Say we're just going to make this the object right there. Okay, so I'm going to left click out of there. Now that white paint there is this new object on top of there. See, if I want to hide it, click the eyeball, and it hides it. If I want to not be able to change that, I hit the lock there. Now if I go over and I try to paint blue on it, I'm not able to do that. And see where the lock comes up there in the center? And then see, I cannot paint on any of that stuff now because it's not selected. And the one I do have selected is that white, but I have it locked. Okay, so if I go over here and I unlock that, then I go over the top of that. Now I can paint blue on the top of that. But look, I can still paint blue over this because it thinks I'm not really painting on those bitmaps. I'm still painting on this object over here that I have selected. So if I go and I hide that, see how it all goes away there? So this, everything right here that reappears is on that top object there. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's delete that this painting here. All right, so we're gonna hit delete. We're gonna go ahead and we've got this object selected here. We're gonna go ahead and delete that one too. Now what I want to show you is how I would, let's just draw this again. Let's just draw that orange peach again, just so you guys get used to how to do this. So we don't really have the same tools that we had in Coreldraw. So like I said, we have the path tool in Corel Photo Paint. And if we click over here on paths, we have no paths generated yet. So if I click on the path, and here's our path tool over here. And what else? Let's see what else is in there in the path tool. So you got rectangle, ellipse, polygon, line, and path. Now all those will make paths. If we take the line tool and we go back and forth here, we can make a path. Actually, you know what? The line tool doesn't do that. Okay. The line tool does not do that. Let's see if it does or not. I'm not sure. I've not used the line tool on here. I don't think it did because, no, it did. Okay. It did make a path with the line tool. So if we wanted to edit the path, we could go select path. Now when we're on path here, let's go select it over here. Yeah, see that didn't make a path. Yeah, that did not make a path. Let's see. No, let's see what this one is right here. Let's see, can we I don't think we can change that anyway. If we're going to edit a path, well, let me show you how the path works. That's obviously not a path, but let me delete that. Let me delete this. So if we're going to create a path on there, we're going to go and we're going to select the path tool, which is already selected there. It's going to be the bottom one there. And then let's go ahead and let's start recreating this orange peach here. Now, I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to click right here. Now, this tool gets even weirder. Now, if I click here to start that, and then I click the next spot and hold my left mouse button in there, now what I do is, if I go ahead and I just let go, and then I go to click another space, go to click another one here, now I can't get that right there. I mean, you can get close, but it's not going to be perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo that, Control Z, and I'm going to show you how the easiest way to do it is. The easiest way to do it is to get your curves right is I'm going to left click there, then I'm going to click and hold my left mouse button to get my curve right here of this peach. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let go right there. Now I didn't cusp it, I just let go. Then I'm going to go back and start my line again. Okay, then I'm going to go back and I'm going to click right there on top of that node. Then I'm going to click and hold on this node, and then I'm going to let go. Then I'm going to go back here. I'm going to click on top of that node, click right here, hold my left mouse button down, and let go. See, we're not cusping these lines now. So let's just do this real fast. Click and hold. Okay. Now, see what I did there? See how that's screwed up and I can't make that line work right? I'm going to Control Z. Now, when I start this line, I'm going to go on top of that node. And it's kind of hard too, but you go on top of that node. Then I'm going to left click and hold. Now, I can actually hold the Alt in and move it like we did in Coreldraw. But the problem is, see that line that's out there on the edge there, right here? I don't like that because it doesn't work right. So you can't move that. If you don't get that node in the right place, you just have to go and Control Z and actually create it again. There's no change in that on there. Okay, so let go, go back here, start here, go here, hold the left mouse button in, get that right, let go. Click here. Now I'm going to do this end here, and I'm just going to click up here to do the end. I'm going to let go. Then I'm going to go over here, and I'll show you how we can move that. when we do that. So I'm going to put that where that goes. Let go. Go here. And I got too far out there. So I'm going to hit Control Z. And also I didn't start from on top of that node. You got to start from on top of that node. Let go. Start on top of that node. Now I'm going to go kind of fast because I just want to get this done. But I'm just showing you guys how to, basically what we're doing here is we're drawing our own mask. Instead of letting the machine do it automatically, we're being more precise and we're drawing our own mask. So let go, start on top of that node, go over here, click and hold for a curve. Let go. Now if I wanted a straight line, I just click on the top of there and then I click straight line. But we don't want straight lines, we want curves right here. So I'm going to go on top of there and I'm going to go here and hold. Let go. Going to go here and hold. Okay, I don't like the spot there. Control Z. Go here and hold. Let go. Go here. And I'm just going to move this like this right here. And we can change that here in a second. I'm going to go on top of this one and hold. Let go. Top of there, hold. Let go. Top of this and hold. Now this last one here, I'm just going to click on top of my other one. And now see that tail doing like how I don't want it to do there? That's okay because I'm able to get it pretty close. But all I would do to fix this now is I would let go. And now I have a whole shape there. Now I'm going to go up to this top here on the left and I'm going to get my shape editing tool. And if I go and I click on this node right here, now I can go up here and I can cusp it. Okay, see where it says sharp curve? That's the same as putting a cusp on it. Right now if I move this side, it's moving this side over here too. If I move this side, it's moving both sides. I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to put this back to where it goes on the left side here. Then I'm going to go up here. This is already selected and I'm going to go sharp curve. Now when I go sharp curve there, now I can move this. I can go here and select this and I can move this side. It's actually on this one. It's going to be this one right here that we're going to be moving. Let me see here. We're going to select this. Let's see here. It's going to be this one right here. And what we actually did is we put a sharp cusp right here on this one. So when we move this, we're able to get a sharp cusp there. Okay, it's just so hard to select, and I'm old and my fingers don't work right. But see, right now we have it as a curve. Okay, so when I click here, it's moving there. Or actually, right now it is cusp because look at it. Let's see. See, I'm just not clicking there right. Just not able to click. Let me see if I can get it there. Wow, that's crazy. So I can zoom in a little bit. So right now that one is a okay, that one is a sharp. It's sharp. So if I click here, see how I'm not moving anything on the right side of that node, but I can't select this side. But if I go here and I select this, let's see. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but this little line comes right here, this squiggly line. Let me get this going here again. Let me click on this one. Okay, it's not selecting that one. Let me go on this one. Okay, now it is kind of hard to select, and you got to understand too. I'm using a 43-inch monitor, and it's one of them Samsung monitors, 43 inches wide. I have a bunch of them. I don't really like them. I'd rather have two 27-inch monitors together because your mouse doesn't move quite right no matter what you do compared to using the smaller monitor. Now, when we're in the selection tool right here, on the left you can see the shape tool. When we move over the top of this line, see how that next to the mouse you get that squiggly line? That means that is selected. That means if I move this line right here, that's actually selecting that. Okay? So if I move this right here, I'm able to move that node. Now if I come out here, because this node that is selected right here is a curved node, because it's allowing me to do a sharp curve if I wanted to convert it to sharp curve. So that's telling me right now it's already a curved node. So if I click right there and I move that, then I'm able to move this side of that node. So you just got to play around with these, but that's basically how you would do that. I'm going to hit Control Z to get that back to how we started there. But you can go and like up here on the top, if we wanted to go and change these how we got them here, if we go here and we click on that node, and right now it's a oh my goodness. So I can click on the node, but I'm having a hard time. Well, I'm just going to get that where it's closer there. Okay, so I'm able to move that one. So I'm clicking on the wrong arrows for these is what it's doing. So this arrow is this arrow over here and that arrow. See how those two arrows are moving for that node? If I get these farther out, that's what I'm doing here. I'm clicking on the wrong one. If I click this, whichever arrows, like right here, now this is the arrow that's going to move for this one right here. Okay? So if I click this node, this is the arrow I'm able to adjust right here. And if I needed to, I could go up and I could set that to a sharp curve. Now, another thing too is if you get stuff that's not working, if you do a save, sometimes it helps you get stuff working again. I've had that happen a lot of times, but let's go ahead and let's click on this node right here. Let's move that back to here. And we can kind of get this shape to where we want. And this is all I was going to show you guys is how this works here. So now we're going to click up here on the selection tool. And we have one path here, and that path is selected. So now I'm going to go up here to mask, and I'm going to go create, and I'm going to go create mask, not from object, but from path. Now you could create a mask from a square or circle if you drew it. That would be an object. So I'm going to go create the mask, because right now we have no way of coloring this. Because what we want to do, remember, is we want to color this orange and then bring this back in. Now when we color this orange and bring that back in, that's going to be coming in as a bitmap, not as a vector. So let's do that then. Let's go up here. Let's go mask, create mask from path. So now we got our path and we have a mask here. And I think we actually have a there is no mask. I guess there is not a mask docker here. I actually thought there was, but you don't really need a mask docker anyways. But now all we would do is we would select our paintbrush, and here's the color we have on the paintbrush over here on the left. We got blue and we got orange. So if we click this little deal right here, now we're going to be painting with orange, and we're not inverted, so we're painting inside that mask with that orange. Okay? Now this is nice if you want to fix a picture or something, a bitmap. So now let's be done with this. Let's go back and take this back into Coreldraw by hitting Finish Editing. So now as we do that, it's going to say, do you want to save it? We're going to want to save that, because if we don't save that, it's not going to come back into Coreldraw like it should. Okay? So let's get this right here. This is just another photo paint I had open. Be careful, because you can get confused on this stuff. So I'm just going to make this small, get this out of the way. Okay, now we're back in Coreldraw, but you can get confused by different Coreldraws and Photo Paint that you have open. Now here's back in Coreldraw. Now here is where, let's show you the difference here of what we did. If we go here and we click on that first curve that we made, I'm going to move that out of the way. And let's see what our, now we're set on 5 inches. So if I have that selected and I hit the left arrow, it's going to move it over to the left 5 inches. And the reason you do that is because it makes it easy to put stuff back where you had it there. Now if we look at this, this is the vector that we created, and this is the actual bitmap that we edited. See how we can't select that? We can select the whole bitmap, but we can't select the we can select the picture, but we can't select just the orange. Now we can select it out here in the vector. Okay. Now, okay, so we pretty much, if you guys would just watch this video and go over that yourself to figure that out, it'll actually help you a lot. I use this stuff a lot. But let me give you one more little trick here, and I think this is a pretty cool tool. If we go here and we just make let's make a circle. No, let's make a square. Okay, let's make a square. This is actually a pretty cool little tool. And this is in Corel 20. This stuff that I'm showing you will work in Corel 2021 or Corel 2023, Coreldraw, and then go to Photo Paint. But a kind of neat tool is we drew a square here, and I'm going to color this square red. Okay, then I'm going to go over, I'm going to select it. I'm going to go over here to my, let's see where this one is at here. I'm going to go here to my interactive fill tool, and I'm going to go mesh fill. Now let's make this white. Let's make this white just to show you guys how this works. So I go to this mesh fill tool right here, and this is pretty cool. If you just go and grab a color and drop it in there, see how that works? It's absolutely amazing. Now you can edit this too. If you want to make it, say you want to make it blue on the outside, you can hold the color in and then drop it on that node. And see how I added blue around the outside? I can just keep doing that. Okay, let me do that again. But it gives you, it gives you like your fills. Like say when you come up here for your fill, let's see, like your interactive fill, and then you use a fountain fill. This kind of gives you the ability to use these fountain fills in here. So if we select back on here, on this mesh here, now if you look up here to the left, you see these squares, the grid sizes. Right now it says I have 2. Okay, so I have 2, which I do. I have 2 grids here, up and down. Okay, if I wanted to make this left grid red, I would just drag red and put it right in the middle of there. Now it made that left grid red. So if I wanted to make more grids, I can just double click right here, and it made a grid top to bottom. If I click over here left to right, let me take that, let me make this white again. Let's see. Now what I'm going to have to do to make it white again is I'm going to drag white and drop it in here. I just want to see you guys to be able to see better. So to make another grid section, you can double click up and down, or you can click side to side and make more grids. So if I want to be precise and grab red, and I want to put it right on that node right there, then actually I didn't hit where it was going. Let me try it again. And like I said, this monitor, they kind of, but that'll change right there to where it's going. See how that red square changes from an outline right there to a full red if you drop it in the middle. The outline's the one we drop first. And then let's see something here. Let's undo that. Let's grab one again. We drop the outline first. And if I drop it right here, it's going to make that box right there. And you can go and you can grab more. You can go over the top of it. See what I was saying about that squiggly line if you're above this, if you're on top of a line? Here we're over a node, and I can actually move these things. I can move these nodes and change our colors here. Or I can grab these lines and move that. Like if I wanted to move this line right here, I can go over this line right here and stretch that out. And you'll be able to come up with some neat shapes and colors. Let me go grab something that I made just to show you. Okay, and here's a little example, like a button or something like that you could make. But it's kind of neat how you can have that color go in and out like that. So anyways, sorry this video is so long, but I really think that if you watch this video a couple times, sorry I suck at making videos, but this will really help you when you're trying to edit or make vectors in Coreldraw or edit bitmaps in Corel Photo Paint. Thank you.